When most billionaires fly, they charter a private jet. When Mohammed bin Salman flies, he deploys an operation so large that it can be mistaken as a military invasion. From his collection of gold-plated aircraft to his 700-member delegation, the Saudi Crown Prince's mode of travel dwarfs Air Force One in economics of scale. Imagine this. You're following a massive convoy of luxury cars speeding along city streets, followed by dozens of identical Mercedes-Benz S-Classes, each carrying someone who looks eerily like MBS. But the twist is, none of them is actually him. The real Crown Prince might be miles away, traveling by a completely different route. That's just one small part of the hugely complex security measures that go into each and every one of his trips. The preparation for MBS's journeys begins months before he ever gets on a plane. Pre-advanced teams deploy scouts to every destination, charting out everything from the placement of snipers to local electromagnetic frequencies. They're not just looking for security threats. They're redoing entire facilities to meet the Crown Prince's exacting specifications. Let's talk about his personal fleet because things start getting juicy here. His primary aircraft isn't some common personal aircraft. It's a Boeing 747, which has been customized to a flying palace. The plane's interior contains a throne room, multiple bedrooms, and an onboard medical unit that is as good as or even better than some hospitals. But here's the utterly mad thing. The plane never goes out on its own. Backup planes are accompanying it at all times, ranging from spares to duplicate security teams. Logistically moving his security detail would give most military commanders whiplash. We're talking over 700 people, from personal bodyguards to intel officers, medical staff, and even tasters of his food. Each of this huge retinue serves a specific purpose, and their activity is choreographed by military precision. Speaking of precision, you would not believe what is done to his hotel suites. Weeks beforehand of his arrival, special units gut and redo the whole floor where he is going to stay. All of the furniture is taken out and replaced with specially locked-in pieces of furniture. The walls are scanned for bug equipment, and special air filtration systems are installed. Even the water pipes are modified to hold additional filtration systems. But this is where it really gets wild. His motorcade arrangements are like something right out of a movie. The Crown Prince never travels in one vehicle. Instead, he uses an advanced system of replicate cars, each of which is capable of serving as his primary means of transportation. The courses are never repeated, and even his own security team doesn't always know which vehicle he is actually in until the last minute. The advanced teams don't just occupy spaces, they recreate them. When MBS visited one European capital, his entourage basically replaced all the furniture in a 5-star hotel presidential suite. We're not discussing shipping in a few pieces of furniture. They removed everything down to the light bulbs and substituted them with their own specially secured ones. The original furniture? Sequestered in a secured warehouse under 24-hour guard. His food security is just as impressive. Special units scan every ingredient that could possibly land on his plate. They don't just taste the food, they track it, source to table. The water he imbibes, secretly imported from a secret location in Saudi Arabia. Even the ice cubes in his drinks are from secure facilities. The communications equipment used when he's on the road are something from a spy movie. His bodyguards talk on encrypted channels that change every few minutes. The Crown Prince's own cell phone? It's part of a closed system that can only communicate with a small number of pre-approved phones. Any message going in or out is encrypted by technology, so advanced it's not even available on the commercial market. Weather forecasting is an entirely different ballgame when MBS is traveling. His entourage does not just check the weather forecast. They have meteorologists charting weather conditions along every possible route he might possibly travel. If there is even a remote chance of adverse weather, full-scale contingency plans are activated. On one trip, his entourage had 5 different plans for arrival, each with its own complete security detail and motorcade. His airspace protection during flight is amazing. It is activated many hours before his flight plane liftoff, utilizing an advanced arrangement of electronic countermeasures. Jamming aircraft lead ahead of his planes at some distances, creating what security individuals call an electronic bubble of protection around the Crown Prince's plane. All unauthorized aircraft and drones coming in closer than it's meant to trigger an automatic response from escort aircraft piloted by fighter jets. His on-the-ground transportation isn't just about sleek automobiles. Each vehicle in his motorcade is a marvel of technology, featuring its own oxygen supply, bulletproofing everywhere, and communications equipment that would make most military vehicles seem prehistoric. The cars even come equipped with sensors that can detect chemical agents in the air and seal themselves up automatically. Want to hear something totally crazy? Some of these vehicles can continue operating even if all their tires are shot out. The crew response procedures while he is in transit are an entirely different matter. Each route has pre-positioned teams of first responders strategically placed along the route. These are not ordinary emergency services. These are specialized units with special training and gear. Each team has armored medic units that cost more than most hospitals' whole fleet of ambulances. The Crown Prince has more than just human security. His protection team consists of highly trained K9 units whose dogs are more expensive than luxury cars. The dogs are equipped with bulletproof vests that contain cameras and vital sign monitoring equipment. They are trained to sense not only explosives, but also certain electronic equipment and surveillance devices. His technology piece of his protection is incredible. The Crown Prince has a self-contained 5G network with him that rides around in specially modified delivery-type trucks, indistinguishable from one another. He has thousands of encrypted telephone conversations that he can have at a time using his network, and it's intercept-proof and jamming-proof. The equipment utilized to carry the network cruises around in modified trucks indistinguishable from common delivery trucks. Even airspaces around his travel routes are taken over in ways you cannot imagine. Special units roll out a grid of anti-drone networks that can track and knock out any unsanctioned aerial device for miles. The sensors are so sensitive that they can detect a commercial drone as large as a smartphone over a mile away. One time, his security team brought down over 50 unsanctioned drones during one visit to London. The hospital arrangements made for his travels are unprecedented. A mobile hospital crew with full complement is with him, complete with an operating room deployable in a matter of minutes. Blood of his group is stored in special refrigerated trucks, and various specialist doctors are never more than 5 minutes away from him. There is even a standby medical evacuation aircraft. His personal protection squad isn't made up of the usual bodyguards. We're talking A-level operators who have spent years honing their expertise. Each and every one of them is a multi-martial arts expert with advanced driving courses and the knowledge to provide emergency medical treatment. The totally, utterly crazy bit? Some of them even go so far as to have cosmetic surgery to match MBS's appearance as much as possible, creating yet another layer of deception for potential perpetrators. The Crown Prince's motorcade has more than just security vehicles. There are communication trucks, mobile command centers, and even vehicles strictly for electronic warfare. One truck in the convoy has the capability to blast out all cellular communications within a mile, but still has the Crown Prince's secure net of choice active. The attention to detail in his security arrangements borders on obsession. Teams build exquisite 3D models of every building along any possible routes prior to every journey. They do not make an aesthetic impression, but are employed running hundreds of simulations on computers, exercising various security variants. The potential vulnerabilities they establish are reinforced or the route simply altered. Even the staff who wait on him go through gargantuan security procedures. Every person who might come within 100 feet of MBS must be thoroughly vetted months beforehand. They're not just looking for criminal records. They're reviewing social media updates, interviewing relatives, and even monitoring their bank transactions. The hotel custodial staff he visits? All specially vetted, and quite a few of them are undercover security personnel. The scale of these operations is astonishing. On a single week-long overseas visit, his bodyguards rented over 500 vehicles, took over entire floors in 3 hotels, though he only occupied 1, and set up secure communication systems across the entire city. The cost? Higher than some countries' entire military budgets for a year. The Crown Prince's travel itinerary is not just about security. It's a show of power and capability. Every detail, from the gold accents on his jets to the limousines in his motorcade, is designed to project an aura of unmatched wealth and power. But beneath all the luxury lies one of the world's most sophisticated security operations. Speechless at these mind-blowing travel plans? Comment below and let us know what security measure surprised you the most. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more interesting articles on how the world's most powerful get around the globe.